Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, or good night. Whatever time you might be watching this show, it's a good time to be watching this show. In fact, anytime you are alive on this side of the earth, it is a good time. I am Marvinetta Woodley Penn. I am the founder of Joy on Life's Journey, and I try to bring more joy into people's lives because I believe that joy is our birthright. That you as a person can make a choice to live with joy, or you can choose to live with fear and anger and disgust. Well, that ain't what this show is all about. This show is about people who are on their journey and people who have found some joy, and they're communicating that joy to you guys today. So, my show, All Stories Matter, because I think each one of us, each one of you out there has a story, and it's very important that you share your story, not just with those close to you, but the world. Why not share your story with the world? That is proof that you are and that you were here. Because if you don't tell your story, somebody else might tell your story, and guess what? They probably won't get it right. So, today, we have a wonderful young man here today. I heard about him from someone else, and she was like, you have got to hear his story. You have got to have him as a guest on your show. So anytime I get that kind of recommendation, it's like, oh, yes, I will definitely have this young man on my show. But one more thing I have to say before we get started with this. I am in Annie at the Kalamazoo Civic Theater. Not only am I in Annie, but Matt Schuster from here and Cody also from PMN in the show. So whatever you do, get to the Civic Theater. We have shows on Friday night, 7:30. Shows on Saturday and Sunday, matinees starting at 2 o'clock. And these shows are running from the first weekend in December through December 21st. Please, please, please get your tickets and come and see us, the PMN, the Public Media Network family in Annie. So with that little ad, we're going to get back to the show. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Wonderful. I am wonderfully well, and I am so glad to have you on our show today. So why don't we just start off with you telling the audience your full name, including your nickname, and then you're going to tell me how you got that nickname.
Yeah, okay. Yes, full name, Andre Deshaun Locket, and the nickname that my family gave me, that they gave me, is Buddy. Everybody calls me Buddy. That's
now, how did you get Buddy?
I have no idea. My mom said it. She called me that, and it just stuck.
Oh, my gosh.
Ironically, she had an uncle named Buddy, but I don't. She said she didn't get it from that. So I have no idea where it came from. She called me that, and it stuck. But everybody really. I'm also a barber here in Kalamazoo, so a lot of people usually they know me as Dre. Also.
Okay.
So, but Buddy, yeah, that's the family nickname. Everybody
That's the family nickname. Did anybody call you that in school?
No. When they found out about it, I got called it a few times.
You're like, no. That's just for my family. Here, I am Dre.
But, when you're younger, you think it's embarrassing. But as you get older, you walk in that, you embrace it, you develop. I mean, not develop it, but you embrace it. You know? And that's my name. So
awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So, Dre, there's so many things I could call you. Right. But what would you like me to call you? Andre. Okay. Yeah. Andre, what is your story? Where does it begin? Are you a native Kalamazooan?
Yeah. Yep. So it's a very, very long story. I guess
we got
can
time.
Start up, right. I guess I can start off of how I got into my career.
No,
not yet.
No. I want to go way back.
So way back. Okay.
Way back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're from Kalamazoo?
Yeah, I'm from Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Yep. So from Kalamazoo.
What neighborhood you grew up in?
Born and raised here. I was I'm right off of Westnedge, so I guess you could say South Side, right by Myers in Kalamazoo.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, born and raised here. I went to Lincoln International Study Schools in elementary school, Maple Street for middle school, and Lloyd Norris High School.
Okay, so I was just at Lloyd Norris this morning.
Yeah. Yep. It was pretty much a straight through ride. I didn't go to many different other schools. It was kind of elementary, middle school, high school. Didn't really go through any other schools. So
okay. So what was that like? What was going to school in Kalamazoo like for you?
Going to school to Kalamazoo, it was It was cool. It was okay. It was fun. I mean, I developed a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends. Going to school in Kalamazoo, I mean, they have the promise. That's major. That's a very good thing.
Did you take advantage of the promise?
Yeah, I did for a little bit. I went to
Okay.
school. I went to KVCC. So I
Okay.
went for business for a little bit.
Yes.
So and then I went into other endeavors, but we'll get into that later. As
Okay,
we said.
cool.
But growing up in Kalamazoo, going to school in Kalamazoo, it wasn't bad. I mean, you probably know this too. Are you a native?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm from a little place called East St. Louis,
Okay.
Illinois. Not St. Louis, Missouri, but
Okay.
East St. Louis,
Right.
Illinois. And I
Right.
spent most of my adulthood in Chicago.
In Chicago.
I've only
Okay.
been here for almost 3 years
3
now.
years.
Yeah.
Okay. So with your 3 years, you probably know and see that Kalamazoo is pretty small, close knit.
Yes.
So that's one thing that I did see as I got older, growing up in Kalamazoo. Now I ain't gonna say I know half the city. That's drastic, but I know a lot of people now. So
Yes.
because the city is so small, close knit, but it's still big enough to not see everybody every day though. So which is cool. But yeah, growing up here, going to school here, it was cool.
Cool. Do you feel like you got a good education in Kalamazoo?
I feel like I got
Public
a pretty good education. It's really just a matter of what you apply yourself to.
Yes,
A matter
yes.
of, are you going to listen in school? Are you going to do the work? Are you going to apply yourself? That's really what it
Now,
boils
when did
down
you
to.
graduate? Because you look
I
so
do.
young. You look like one of the students I had today.
Right, yeah. So graduated in 2020.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm 23 years old
Okay, so you graduated
during COVID.
during COVID. COVID, did you graduate in June of 2020?
Yeah.
Because schools shut down like
Yeah,
March,
yep.
around March 13th.
I think
Yeah.
it was June. I'm not super clear on those dates, but I think
Okay.
it was warm, getting warm.
Yes,
or warmish.
yes.
Yeah, so I think it was around
Yes.
June. Yeah.
So, what was that like?
It was rough. I mean, I think it was rough for everybody. I mean, I've heard of even people having to close down their own businesses, during that, that COVID time. It was rough. I think I'm 23 now, like I said, but at the time it was bad for me because I was like, man, I can't experience the whole senior season, the whole everything, the prom, what else was there?
Graduation, the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
graduation.
We had to walk across our soccer field, and it wasn't at Wing Stadium like everybody else's is now. So every time I go to a graduation at Wing Stadium now, I'll be looking at it like, oh man, I wish I could have had that. But
Right.
it's all good. Like I said, I'm 23 now. I'm well past that, and they did what they could for us. So that's one thing I will say. I mean, they could have had it in a parking lot, but they chose to have it, on the soccer field. They let us walk a stage still. They created something
Okay.
for us, called our name,
Yes,
gave us our diploma.
awesome.
We had to have the mask on, but they did what they could,
Yes.
and they did what they had to do.
Were any people allowed to come?
Yeah, we could have. Yeah, I think
Wonderful.
we 5 guests, 4 guests.
That's not
It was
bad.
yeah, it wasn't bad. It
That's
wasn't bad.
not bad.
But I could be wrong though. But I
But
think
a
it was,
because a lot of people did not have graduations.
Yeah,
A
no.
lot of schools didn't.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people just had to drive by and honk.
And honk.
Congratulations.
And congratulations. Yeah. And clap their hands out the window.
Yes. Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. So they did what they could. So,
Yes. Well,
yeah.
that was wonderful.
Yeah.
So how did you make it through that period? Can you take yourself
Yeah.
back?
So I can take myself back. I mean, it lasted for a while. After I graduated, COVID didn't just disappear. It lasted, what would you say, like 2 years after that? 3?
Yeah,
It
things
lasted a
started
little minute.
opening up. Things started opening up a bit.
Yeah.
In the around summer 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But I started because I had a youth performing arts organization
Yeah.
in Chicago, and I was like, no, these children.
It
We're
needs
messing them up if we
Yeah.
don't let them socialize.
Right.
So we opened our facility and we just had social distancing.
Yep.
But we felt the children needed to be around each other.
Yeah.
That being isolated at
It's
home,
important.
and sometimes parents had to go to work. So we were like, oh my God, no,
Yeah.
they're not ready to be on their own.
No.
So yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it was around that time during COVID, it was like I said, it was rough for a lot of people, but with me being so young and also not having many responsibilities, it was kind of fun. I mean, I didn't have to really do anything, you know what I mean? So it was kind of fun. I think around that time what did I do? That's actually the time where I actually decided to start I have a really entrepreneurial like mindset.
Okay.
So
Where
around
did
that
come
time,
from?
right.
Well, no. Finish this, and
Yeah,
then you can tell me
you're
what
good.
that entrepreneurial
Around
mindset.
this time, I was getting into ways that I could just make money. You know, I was I was bored. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't have much to do, and then I also found out around that time I had some money saved up, and I
Yeah.
think I had around that time I was working a little bit, but you know everything had to close down. So a lot of the money that I had left, I found out I'm gonna be honest. I was buying clothes and posting pictures on Instagram and all that other stuff. I was bored and wasn't using my mind the right way. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
I was once again an idle mind. You
It's the
don't.
devil's workshop.
It is.
Yes.
You just find just random stuff to do, whether it's
Yes.
productive or non-productive. You're just doing stuff. So I kind of just found out that I wanted to start doing something for myself. So around that time, I started to wash cars. I was customizing PS4 controllers. I was just doing a lot of random things that could probably generate something for me. But
So where did you get that from?
so
That drive, because a lot of people would just sit and scroll their phones.
I'm gonna be
and-
honest, I really don't know. I mean, if we could, my best guess is, I mean, it's honestly a blessing from God, first and foremost. But then
Yes.
if you want to get into this, my dad has a very strong work ethic. And
Yes.
I seen that, and it could also just be passed down genetically too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
hey.
And my mom, she used to own her own business. I didn't know of this until I got a little older, but she used to own her own business called ZB's, and she used to sell clothes and stuff in there. So it turns out, I mean, my mom, she also runs a daycare now. So my mom,
Oh, you got it naturally.
yeah. So my mom's
Yes.
entrepreneurial mindset, and then my dad's work ethic. I mean, when those two things just mesh, it
Yes.
creates this. So yeah,
1 + 1 = me.
exactly. So they
Cool.
really created they brought that forth, and also like I said, it's a blessing from God because I mean. I can't just, give that to my parents, but, God gave that to me also. So,
Indeed.
yeah.
And you had to take it and do something
And do
with
something
it.
with it. Yeah.
Well, isn't it
Yeah.
wonderful that you had the mind to say, what can I do? I'm not just going to be a consumer.
Yeah.
Because we can all go online and buy things.
Yep.
I try not to do that. I like to go to the secondhand stores.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what you can
Yeah.
get at the secondhand
Yeah, I actually heard you talking about that before this. You say you shop at Second Impressions every once in a while?
Second
Yeah.
impressions, if I buy anything,
Yeah.
Goodwill,
Yeah.
sweater, and it's
Yeah.
still looking good.
It do.
Goodwill, okay?
Yeah.
And I rarely buy anything.
Yeah.
And if I don't like people's, I'm not going to tell you who,
Yeah.
but if I don't like your philosophy, if I don't like the way you treat the environment, your employees,
Yeah.
I don't like your politics,
hard to shop
I'm not
with
going to shop with
Yeah.
you. I don't
Yeah.
care how big of a discount you might have or
Right.
what your
Right.
selection is.
Yeah.
That's a no-no for
Right.
me
Yeah.
because my money is valuable to me.
Right. And where
But
you
my
spend it.
money has to represent my values.
Right. Yeah.
My purchases have to represent my values.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad to hear that you think about not being just a consumer, but being a producer. You know,
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
making money. And then
Yeah.
it's cool to spend some money, splurge
every
on
once in a
yourself.
while.
But
Yeah.
your focus is making that
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
that's
right.
it.
So you started washing cars, you
Yeah.
started detail. Tell me
Yeah.
about the detailing, because I
So-
have no idea what that is.
Yeah, so you're good. So, I mean, it was very small, small scale. I didn't really get into the vacuuming out the cars. Well, I did a little bit, but I wasn't doing a lot of the things that the major detailing companies do. It started
Okay.
off real small just because I don't know, bored, wanted something to do,
Yes,
So
yes.
it was hard for me to just sit in the house all day. So yeah, I got into the detailing. As my aunts and uncles, I would just call them up. Hey, you got a car I can wash, or you bring your car over, I'll wash it. And I wouldn't charge an arm and a leg $5, $10, $15. Like it was I just wanted something to do.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I know that they were willing to pay me, but I also wasn't trying to break the pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they would pull the car in right into the front yard. I would clean it down for them or spray it down, wash it up, tire shine it, dry it off with a chamois, clean it out if they wanted it cleaned out. And that was pretty much it. It was very basic, but it was still something for me to do.
Yeah, and
something-
lucrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I just wanted to be productive around that time, I
Yes.
guess. But like I mean, there wasn't anything that drove me to do it per se. But I guess I was bored. I wanted to get something, do something.
Very
you know?
good,
So,
very good.
yeah,
So
pretty
what
much
was
it.
your next hustle after that?
So actually, this actually gets into the barber side
Okay.
of where I'm at. So also around this time, I was, keeping it at bay for a little bit. But during this time, I was actually cutting hair a lot. Like during COVID, I was trying to cut hair as much as I could. I was cutting hair outside. My mom would always tell me, make sure you wear a mask. So I was cutting hair outside while I was detailing cars, while I was customizing the little PS4 controllers I told you
Wait a
about.
minute. Tell me about the PS4 controllers before we get to the hair. So, because I know about car detailing. I need my car detailed so bad. Like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed when I get company and I know they're going to ride in my car. But
you get like that.
In Chicago, though, you can go to lots of car washes that would do the inside and the outside. Not so here in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, not too many. And it's not that you say that. I'm not trying to get too off subject, but now that you say that, my little cousin, he actually was trying to start a little detailed thing, and he's only in high school, you know. So now that you say it's not a market really for that, then I'm going to have to let him know.
There is a market, especially for women.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they need it.
We want to keep our cars clean, but I'm not going to be pulling in and vacuuming.
Well, yeah. Let me rephrase that. There's not many people doing it.
There aren't many people doing it.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
So that is definitely a market. Yes. So the customizing
the PS4 controllers.
PS4 controllers.
So I'll be real quick with this. My little sister, she was actually, it's this thing called hydro dipping. So she would get spray paint.
I am so old.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I mean, it's so much. You can look up all this stuff on YouTube. Long story short, you would get spray paint.
Yes.
It's a certain type of spray paint you would get. I mean, you could probably get any type, but probably just not the gloss. But you would get spray paint, spray the water. You would fill up a bucket of water, full of water about halfway or all the way full, and you would spray paint the water just on top of it. 2 or 3 different colors. Don't get too many because they will just make it black. You know, so 2 or 3 different colors, and I would always do probably red, white, and just a splash of another color, or just 2 different colors, and that's it. So too many colors would just mess it up. So 2 different colors, and let's just say red and white. So I would get red and white, spray on the surface of the water, just spray it, and then you would make a pattern with it if you want, with a toothpick, and make a pattern if you want. Make a pattern, or you can spray and make a certain pattern. And you would get the toothpick, make a pattern, and then I would get the PS4 controller, and it's a long process, but I would break it all apart. And I watch YouTube videos on this, but I break it all apart because everything that you see is a shell on it. You know, the internals of everything. That's a shell. You know.
Yes.
And you would just break it all apart. If it got screws, you can take it off. So I would take it all apart, watch videos on it, and then I would get the shell and I would sand it down. And then I would
that's a lot.
Spray. It is a lot. And then I would get the primer, yada, yada, yada. And then spray it down, let it dry. And then I would get it, and I would dip it in there. And then I'll shake it off, and I'll pull it back out. And after this, I can probably show you some pictures. It's really nice. And then you can hydro dip anything, your phone case. You can get this and anything, you know. And you would dip it, shake it off in the water, and then you'll pull it out, and it will have its own certain design.
Oh my!
And it looks
you're
really
an
nice.
artist.
Yeah. I seen my little sister doing it, so I got her to, say thank you to her for doing it. But she showed me, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So I put my own little spin on it. So I customized the PS4 controllers, and then I actually started selling those too. I had because during the time I was cutting hair. So I had people that I could pull from and like, hey, I'm doing this. You want me to do this for you too? While I was cutting their hair.
Yes.
So I would ask them like, hey, can I do yours? And they was like, yeah. So they would pay me about for a controller, $20, $30. I would just dip it, shake it out, let it dry, spray it with the gloss after, and it would just have its own unique pattern to it.
And then put it back together.
Put it back together too. Yeah. With the buttons and everything. Kind of technical, but it was once you do it once, you kind of just. It's just repetition, you know?
Oh, so, goodness gracious.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But I like doing that, actually. I actually plan to start that back up again. I don't know when. I don't know how. But because, spray paint, you can't just do that inside your house. You got to go outside to do it. So right now, I would only be able to do it when it's warm outside. But if I ever get, if God ever bless me with a chance to just, do that and I think I would do that just on the side because I like doing it. It's kind of fun.
It sounded like it when you were describing it. Your face lit up, and whenever your face lights up, that's something. There's something to it. There's something to it.
I think what I liked about it the most is just the uniqueness that came out of every controller. Not trying to get too deep with it, but it's so unique that every pattern was different. I could not, even if I tried, I couldn't make the same controller again.
Because you can't. You cannot replicate project. You cannot say this is exactly how it's going to be, because once I can imagine that once that paint is in the water, and even though you do things with it, it's going to have its own mind.
Its own unique design.
It's going to have its own mind. It's going to be like, okay, this is how we want it.
Yep. It's crazy. Yeah, none of them ever came out the same. Even if I did the same colors, each pattern was different. Yeah, no matter what.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I really like doing that. But
so do you have a little place where you put your name on it?
I actually didn't do that. I probably should do that.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and I know a lot more, I'm definitely, because there's, my wife had shown me these things. I don't know what the name of it is, but we put it on our mirror for our wedding, and it's like a decal. You put it on a mirror, and you like smear it, and then you like pull it off or whatever, and it leaves like the name or whatever you had printed. It leaves that on there, so I could probably do something like that.
You can. So, I believe you can do anything. I think you can create something. It's a lot. Send it off to China, have it mass produced. Hey.
Yeah.
When you have your shop, your barbershop, you have all your products.
Yeah.
Your products in there. People
there.
can buy. That's right.
Yeah.
Does your wife cook? Does she bake?
She does. She actually made some, I'm over here cheese and I miss it. She's down in North Carolina right now.
Oh.
But, yeah, she has some banana bread that she made the other day. Yeah.
You could have a shelf with
all of that.
Banana bread.
Yep.
You'd be surprised
people will, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, she actually has a, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, but she actually has. You're good.
Okay. I am good. Go where the spirit leads.
She actually has a business also. So it's a long story, but she's from North Carolina too.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
From North Carolina, too?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say too.
Okay,
but
okay.
I think it's because I mentioned North Carolina that she was down there. But
yes.
Yeah, she's from North Carolina, and she runs her own business down there. So she's a massage therapist.
Oh,
yeah, so she does massage therapy down there. Yep. So that's actually why she's down there right now. She has to take care of that business still until she can probably get somebody to fill those shoes for her.
Yes.
But everybody really loves her down there. So yeah.
Well, how did you guys meet?
So it was through Instagram. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep. So Instagram and.
So you weren't just on there posing.
No.
Posing your clothes. No. You were shopping around.
And this was so it was last year when we met through Instagram. I think it was October. And we started talking. I mean, I wasn't looking for nothing. She wasn't looking for nothing either. And she'll tell you this all day, every day. She didn't like me at first, She didn't like me at first. Of course, I was liking her, but it was one of them things where it's like, okay, if she, she's not trying to do nothing, I'm not trying to either. So let's be friends,
Yeah.
And she was, it just happened so authentically. We just kept talking to each other every day. You know what I mean?
Wait. So you posted something, or she posted
So
something?
yeah. So what ended up happening?
Somebody commented.
Yeah. So
because I'm not even on Instagram.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. So it's a
break
really
it down
long
for the
story.
old lady.
Right. I'm trying to shorten it because it's so long. But long story short, one of my favorite Christian artists, his name is Young C.
Okay.
So he actually reposted her listening to one of his songs.
Oh.
And I was watching his Instagram story. You can post different stories. Like I could record this and post it on my Instagram story, and it'll be up for 24 hours.
Okay.
And people can watch it and view it for as long as it lasts until it expires.
Okay.
So I was watching his Instagram story, and it's funny because if I would have missed it, it's only up for 24 hours. So if I would have missed it, I would have never seen. It's crazy. I just thought about that. But I was watching his Instagram story, and I had seen her, and I was like, oh. And I'm gonna be honest, out in this house, she's pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So she's beautiful. So I got on her page and I seen what she was talking about. And the first thing, yes, she's pretty, but yes, she was pretty, but there is so much more that meets the surface though. Like it's not just the outward, you know what I'm saying? That fades over time. So it's really what was here. That's what got me.
That's what got you.
Yeah. Because at this time, I'm gonna be honest, I was beyond just looks. You know what I mean? Because once again, that only goes so far for a man or a woman. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
It only goes so far. So
yes.
I seen what she represented. I seen how she stood on her own morals, who she was, and also just her relationship with God. That was the first and foremost. That was a nail on the head for me. I seen how she represented God. I seen how she carried herself, and it also seemed like she had a lot of self-respect for herself too. I think that was another major thing that I really liked about her. Just watching her Instagram. I was reading her captions, looking at her pictures, dressed modestly. I mean, it wasn't one of those things where it's like, because you can look at people and just kind of tell, like, I don't think I would want to deal with this. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. So just being honest and blunt, you can just kind of look at people like, nah, okay, yeah, it's just, I don't want to deal with it.
Oh, wow.
So, but yeah, like I said, dressed modestly. I mean, it looked like she had a lot of self-respect for herself. And her captions, every picture that she had, her captions, she wasn't just talking about herself, she was talking about the Lord, you know. And it was always something, I was reading through a lot of it, I'm like, man, she know what she talking about. This don't look like lip service. It look like she actually has a relationship with the Lord, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what really led me to her. But I didn't hit her up, though. I mean, at the time, I wasn't looking for anything, you know? I was at this place of where I was trying a lot of different things or talking to other people, and it just wasn't going anywhere. So I just kind of wasn't tired, but it was just, Lord, I'm done. I'm just going to give this to you. You just send somebody whenever,
All right.
whenever you're ready, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, so what ended up happening, so she ended up texting me. She hit me up. I had something posted on my Instagram story, and I had said the main purpose is to serve God, and everything good will come as a byproduct of that. So she ended up sliding up on that post, ironically, and she hit me up, and she had told me, she said, amen, with some clapping emojis, and after that, I guess you could say the rest is history.
It's history.
Yeah. So
did you go down there? She came up
yeah,
here?
so I decided to go down there. It was one of those things where I've never really traveled out of the, I almost said country, out of the state by myself. So it was something in me. I want to throw this out there too. It was something in me that told me I had to check with my dad first, you know? I don't know why. I still don't know why to this day, but I think it's just a respect thing that I had with him, and just, you know, knowing when you have your dad's green light, it kind of just gives you the confidence to just go and do what you got to do. Or your mother, whoever, somebody that you just respect in general.
Yes, indeed.
So he gave me kind of the green light. I mean, he told me the real stuff. I mean, he said, you're grown. 23 years old, you have your own business, you have money, do it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing stopping you.
You have nothing to lose.
So if you're interested, you know, go see, chill with her, talk to her, you know, all that other stuff. So, yeah, went down there, and we met for the first time in person in January. So I went down there on my birthday week. So she said, why you want to come down here on your birthday? I said, I don't mind chilling with you on my birthday.
Oh,
it'd be a nice present.
Oh, yeah.
So, so that's when I actually asked her to be my, like I said, it happened so authentically. We were dating before it felt like we were dating before I even went down there.
Yes.
But I wanted to see her first before I asked her to be my my girlfriend at the time. So, so I went to see her, asked her to be my girlfriend. It's funny, I wrote a little poem for her too.
Oh, you're a writer, a businessman, a creative.
Yeah. And actually, now that you say writer, I'll throw this out there and get right back on the story, but I wrote a book too. So it's a lot to dig into with me, but I wrote a little poem for her, and that's when I asked her to be my girlfriend. And like I said, pretty much the rest is history. We got I proposed August 11th. After a while, and at the time, yes, I was scared, nervous, because I mean, as a man, you're taking on, it's a responsibility, you know what I mean? And it's not just taking care of her, but I'm devoting my life, you know what I mean, to someone else, and that's major, you know what I mean? It's not just being submitted to somebody else. That's what commitment. That's not what I was afraid of. Wasn't afraid of anything, but I think it was just this is just a new chapter. I've never been here. Marriage, never been here. You know? So so I walked into it with my head up high. I mean, there was a lot of people and a lot of things kind of disrupting that a little bit, and I won't go too in depth with that, but there was a lot of things that kind of was, I guess, veering me away from it a little bit. But once I made my mind up and I bought that ring and I decided I'm going to do it, that's when the Lord, that's when he blessed me with an apartment and everything. Because at the time, I didn't have nowhere to go. I think that's why I was so I don't know, you know, because as a man, we kind of want to have it all figured out, laid out, and have all our ducks in a row. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So before I got engaged, I'm like, man, I don't, God, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I should do it. I'm not set, you know?
Yes.
So anyway, long story short, I got engaged August 11th, and right after I did that, I moved out my mom and dad's house in September, and we got our own apartment. So everything just flowed. But in the midst of that, the last thing I would say about the relationship piece, my marriage and everything, and what led up to that, there was this guy at our church. I go to Faith Temple. His name is Deacon Hamilton, and sadly, he actually passed away recently. But I used to cut his hair at the Barbershop, and he had dropped a gem on me one time because I was curious. I wanted to know. This is while I was talking to my wife. Her name is Ramsey.
Okay.
So I was talking to him. I was like, how do I know if this one is this one, you know? And I was kind of tired of hearing of you'll know when you know. I mean, or you know when you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, man, I need a better answer.
What do I
you
know?
Yeah. But now I can relate to them
Yes.
because I felt that. When you know, you just, you know.
It's
you know.
it.
So I see why they said it, you know what I mean? But at the time, I'm like, man, I need some more. But he gave me what I needed more. It wasn't a yes or a no, this was the one, but he gave me what I needed to see and understand if this is somebody that God was leading me to.
Okay.
So the three, he told me one thing, and he said a woman is, especially the one for you, can be described as a good woman, can be described, a virtuous woman can be described as a diamond. And the three characteristics of a diamond, it's color. I mean, I'm sorry, that is one of them, but it's clarity, it's hardness, and it's rarity. So he gave me those three things. So starting with clarity, he said, how easily can you see through her? Are there any, not in a bad way, but is there anything that she's not just hiding, but is there anything, how easy is she to read? You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Can you, like, the
is
clarity
she
thing?
real? Is
Yeah.
she all the time? Is
Thank
she
you.
this
Yes.
way?
Yeah.
All the
You broke
time?
it down better than me.
You know, that's
Yeah.
so important
Yeah, the
because you
clarity
meet
piece.
so many people and they're one way in this situation and
Thank you.
another
That's
way
it.
in another
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's it. The clarity piece.
right.
How easily can you see through her? Is she easy to read? You know.
Yes,
So,
yes.
because a lot of people have hidden intentions, things that you just don't see. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Or that you can't see. It might be blurry. Because once again, clarity. How easily can you see through her? You know what I mean?
wow.
So he gave me that, and then another thing was the hardness. This was actually no, I'll go to rarity, and that one's pretty
Okay.
straightforward. How rare is this woman? Do you run into a woman like this every day? And I know I do not. You do not run into
Oh, that is
a
so
woman like my wife
beautiful.
every day.
Oh,
no.
that is so
She's-
beautiful.
Yeah, she's rare.
I'm going to use this.
Yeah,
when
'cause
I
it's
talk
deep.
to, because when I sub, I talk
Yeah.
to boys.
Yeah.
I like talking to
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
Because I think that, we've had so many programs for girls and trying to raise these
Yeah.
girls and help them, but not a lot that really focus on the
the
heart
man.
of
Yeah.
young men.
Yeah,
And
it's
allow
important.
them to be just humans.
Yeah.
Not this is what a man is, but
Yeah.
this is what a human
Yeah.
is. So go
Yeah, you're good.
the
So-
clarity, the hardness.
Yep. So
Yeah.
clarity, rarity, and hardness.
Rarity, yeah.
Yep.
The
hardness.
rarity, yeah.
Yeah.
And- okay.
So the hardness piece, and the reason why I wanted to say this one last is because this is the one that really made me see and understand this is who I want.
Okay.
This is who I'm gonna put a ring on. So the hardness piece, I really like this one because he said, how easily does she change under pressure?
Ooh.
Does she change under pressure? Because a diamond, it does not. That's actually what forms it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a diamond, you can try to crush it, you can try to do all of that, but you cannot really. I mean, don't get me wrong. You get it with enough force and pressure, you probably can crack it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
but
we
why
looking at
even
it.
go there?
Yeah, you know
if
what I mean?
you
Yeah.
see that
So
under normal pressure and even
she doesn't change.
She doesn't change.
Yeah, so that's what got me about her.
Oh,
She
wow.
didn't change under pressure.
Yeah.
Like whenever things will get rough between me and her, because there will be times like that. There are
Indeed.
times like that. There was times like that.
Indeed.
So, yeah, she didn't change under pressure. When I would deal with certain things in my mind or even physically my body, whenever I would get burnt out, she would understand and she would call me. And there was even this one time where I was burnt out from work one time, and I went home and I kind of just crashed. And I told her, I texted her, I said, hey, because she usually would call me. This is before we got engaged and all that. We were just dating at the time. And she usually would call me whenever she had free time. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm feeling kind of burnt out. I'm about to take a nap, relax. And I get ready to lay down. And I put the covers over myself, close my eyes, turn my phone off. Not all the way, but, shut my phone off, put it on the charger, and, close my eyes. And I promise you, 2 minutes later, or even a minute later, she calls me, what's wrong? So I was like, oh, my gosh. I mean, because it was one of them things I've never experienced, like somebody that really cared. Like I said, it's the rarity, rarity, clarity that showed
that's
me.
so beautiful.
She's easy to see through, and then the hardness. I mean, she didn't. Oh, he tired or he don't want to talk to me. It wasn't nothing like that. It's the first thing. Are you okay? You know what I mean?
Ooh,
she didn't shift
I like
it on
her. I want to
right.
meet her.
She's amazing. I mean, she didn't shift it straight to how she
Yes.
felt. it was all on me. How do you feel? How can I help? You know what I mean?
Oh,
So, yeah, it was, yeah, that was those three things. That's what really helped me to make the decision on, if I, really wanted to make her my wife. So, and then last thing I'll point out about this too, I'm sorry, but
don't be sorry.
Okay.
We have time.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
But I also wanted to point out, for men or women, it depends. Sometimes God will give you that straight up flashing lights. This is the one. You know what I mean? But I feel like a majority of the time he lets you decide on your own too, because he didn't give me the flashing lights. He just gave me the information and facts that I needed in order to make an educated decision. You know what I mean? So all the facts and what the guy was saying, what Deacon Hamilton, what he was telling me, I use all those things, and also what I seen in her. I use all those things to make the decision on, and also praying, fasting about it. Like it was a lot. And that it just gave me the courage to make the decision, and it kept chasing me until I was like, okay, I'm gonna just get this ring. I gotta do it. So I did it, and now we are here.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't hear too many young people.
Yeah.
You're young. I don't hear too many young people talk about relationships in that way.
Yeah.
So this is so very refreshing.
Yeah.
I would love to use this as part of one of my courses dealing with where young people, I'm talking with young people and listen to what this young man is saying.
Yeah, please do.
About not just a wife, but good friendships.
Yeah.
These are some of the things that you want.
Qualities.
You want your friends to be like diamonds in your life. Your close friends. You can have a lot of associates.
That's a good switch.
But
I never
people
thought about
that
it
you think that you hold close to your heart, near and dear, those people you can call at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come take me to the hospital. Come take me whatever.
Yeah.
I just need to talk right now.
Exactly.
And they're going to pick up the phone and they're going to be there for you. They have those three qualities.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is a blessing.
He told me,
gosh.
I was like, oh my gosh, that was really good.
That was deep.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yep,
this
yep,
conversation was important for me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, both of us.
Tell me about the barbershop.
Yeah,
How
okay.
did you get into cutting hair?
Okay, so how I got into cutting hair,
Yes.
that was some years ago. I did this program called EFE. It stands for Education for Employment.
Yes.
So they have that program available. It's called CTE now.
Okay.
Actually, you might have seen the building. It's right on the highway or near the highway by Wings Stadium, I think it is. That is K-Risa. They built that building.
K-Risa.
That big one.
Yeah,
they built that building right there, and it's called it's a CTE program, so it's called Career Technical Education, I think it is. So I did it before they changed it to that. It was called EFE. So I did it through a program at my school, the EFE program at my school, and they had a barbering section. So one of my friends, she had told me about, her name's Tanaja Hudson. She had told me about the barbering school because she was in the cosmetology field.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. So I checked it out. I was cutting hair at the time too. I was cutting my own hair and also cutting one of my friends. His name is Henry. He actually makes music and stuff now, but I was cutting Henry's hair, and he gets free haircuts to this day because I was tearing him up completely. Completely.
Oh, no.
When I would look back at pictures, I would be like, yo, why did you let me do why did you let me do this? But it's, I was tearing him up bad. But
He was getting a free haircut. He's like, oh, to grow
and
back.
he was a real one too, because at the time I didn't know this until I actually started, cutting hair at my barbershop. He came in one day and he had told me, I'm glad he didn't tell me back then because it probably would have shifted my focus.
Yeah.
But he had told me, he said, man, when I was in school, people used to laugh at my haircut, bro. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that. They used to clown him and all that other stuff. And don't get me wrong, by all means, it was a bad haircut. And we were in high school, so rightfully so, I guess. You know what I mean? People,
and high schoolers
they're
going to
say what they
cruel.
say.
Yeah, they don't really mean and all that,
No.
but they're just going to tell the truth.
They're gonna be blunt. So
But he never told you.
he never told me until now. You know what I mean? Well, let me not say now, but until I got to where I was.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And he didn't tell me any names, but regardless if he did, I didn't look at those people any different. I wouldn't have. I mean, like I said, we were in high school.
Right.
And rightfully so, it was a bad haircut. So, so I was cutting his hair, and then she told me about the school. I was like, okay, cool. So I went to the barbering school, and I did it. I applied to it. I got in.
Yeah.
And I did it. I did the program. So I was in school for about 2 years. That's how long the program took. So my junior and senior year. That's when I did the program, and it took 1,800 hours. So I was in there for about 2 years, and and then after that, I went and I took the. During this time, I was still cutting hair. I used to cut hair in the shed in my backyard too. Before I even get into getting my license, I used to cut hair in the shed in my backyard, and that was going pretty well for a minute. And I was doing that after I graduated from high school too. So around this time, it's around that COVID kind of year, that time. And I was cutting hair in the shed in my backyard. Me and my dad, we converted that into a barbershop. So, yeah. And back then, I learned how to drywall, insulate. Don't get me wrong, I can't build a whole house, but I learned how to. But you know the
basics.
Yeah. So I can insulate.
And your dad invested in you.
He did. Yep. I remember.
To build, to turn the garage or a shed.
It was a shed in our backyard.
A shed into your barbershop.
Yep. He wasn't using it for anything anymore. So, and actually Henry, once again, bringing him up, he was actually one of the ones that, because my dad just used to have a bunch of stuff back there, and it was just a bunch of wood and just stuff, So me and him, he actually was the one that helped me to gut it. You know what I mean? Take everything out, and we put it all in a big dumpster that was at the house at the time. So. So he helped me get it all together, and me and my dad, after we gutted it, we drywalled it, put up the 2x4s, reframed some of the what's that called, the dry rotted wood that was happening, and we just took care of it and gave it life again. And like I said, I learned how to drywall, insulate, and what else did I do? Paint, mudding, sanding. It was messy work, but it was great. I learned all the.
Because at the end, you can say, "Look, I did this. My dad and I did this."
Yep. We painted it, and it was great. So I was back there cutting for a little bit, and that was going real good for a minute. And then, but then, you can't have the good without the bad, though, right? Yes. So when, I guess I could say this. Word got out. I'll just say that. Word got out to the city that I was cutting hair back there. So the city sent a letter out to me, and it wasn't because I didn't have my license. It's just that in the state of Michigan, I don't know if it's like this anywhere else, but in the state of Michigan, you can't cut from your house. You can't cut from a dwelling. You know what I mean? That's what it said in the letter. You can't cut from your house. You can't run your house basically as a business. When it comes to cutting hair, you can do daycare and stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know all the legality to everything. You know what I mean? But specifically barbering, you can't do that. Don't get me wrong. Everybody isn't just going around telling the city, hey, so-and-so is cutting hair in there. You might want to get them. So you might get your loose ends, people just cutting hair inside their house. You know what I mean? And by all means, do it. It's great. So make the money. But word got out to the city, and the city, they sent a letter out to me, and they shut me down. So I couldn't cut hair back there no more for a while. I didn't know where to go after that. And then honestly, it sucked. It was bad. It was rough. I mean, at the time, I shed tears about it.
Oh, of course,
honestly.
Of course.
And, I was young. I was like, I mean, I'm still young, but I was like 20, I think, at the time. Yeah. Or 19, 21, somewhere in there. Yeah. So, I think I was 20, or 19. So, they shut me down, and nowhere to go after that. So, so my older sister, she ended up telling me, she was like, hey, you can just cut hair in my basement if you want. You know what I mean? So at first I was real against doing it because I didn't want all those dudes coming to my sister's house. You know what I mean? I didn't want that, first of all. And also I didn't want the same letter coming to her house. Right. I didn't want the same thing happening there. But like I said, it's just a matter of who tells the city what. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I went down there. And at the time, I was looking for a barbershop to get into, too, but rent was high. I checked out this one place, and they were talking. It was a hefty amount at the time. And my dad was like, you might just want to just start your own thing. You know what I mean? So, so he wanted me to do that, so I just did that. So I went down to her basement, and I didn't hate it, but because it was somewhere for me to go. But I also didn't like it
the best. Because
I was just coming from.
You're used to having your own place.
Yeah, I was just coming from a place where it was mine, you know, and blood, sweat, and tears. Well, not tears, but blood and sweat.
For sure.
Hurting myself, and you know what I mean, and sweating back there. It was hot working on that shed, but so just leaving that and having to go down there, it just felt like it was bad. I mean, I was up here, and then I just got kicked down to not just the middle ground, but even lower. I mean, you can even look at it.
In your own eyes.
Yeah, in my own eyes. Yeah. Right. But God has some other plan. I mean, it's one of them things you can look at it even metaphorically, too. I mean, I always tell people this: you have to start in the basement first before you can, you know what I'm saying, build the house, right? You have to start in the trench. You have to do trench work. You have to be underground before people sees you. You know what I mean? And there's actually another analogy I wanted to point out too. They said, I seen this post and just comparing it to where I was at. Like they said, a seed actually starts growing beneath the ground before it breaks through.
That's right.
So I was like, wow.
Yes, it does.
So you see a lot. I mean, you don't see it, but it's actually happening underground before you know.
Yeah, and those strong roots. Are in the ground.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
See the pretty flower, but those roots.
But you don't see it on the ground.
No, you don't.
So so I was down there cutting, and yeah, she had dogs too. My sister, 2 dogs, and every time somebody walk in, they all barking. I'm like, oh my gosh! But you know, I'm not gonna stop them. I mean, it's her house. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell her, hey, go and move the dogs.
Right.
It's your house, and you gave me this opportunity, so thank you. You know.
Yes.
So so the dogs, every time somebody would come in, they would. I'm like, don't mind the dogs. They would just go on downstairs, and I would cut their hair down there. And also, she had one of them dryers that beep whenever the clothes was done. So it was a lot. I'll be cutting their hair. You'll hear, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, just ignore that, bro. She'll come down and get her laundry later.
Oh.
So but I really do appreciate her. Her name is Zaria Locket.
Was it just the 2 of you?
So no, I actually have a younger sister too. I'm the middle child. So it's my older sister, and then me, and then my younger sister, Kennedy Locket.
Cool.
So I was down there for I don't know. I seen the seasons change. I know that. So probably about a year or 2. I think it was a year, probably a year, because I got the shop. I had the shop for about 3 years, and I'm 23 now. So I was down there for about a year and some change. So wasn't too long, but in my eyes, it felt like forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was rough, but I was down there for a minute, and then during this time, my aunt, her name's Tawala Locket. She does real estate here in the city, and she sent me this message, and she told me that there was this building for sale on East Main. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into it. So we went to go look at it, and everything checked out. I mean, it was move-in ready. It was a hair store right across the street. I'm right on East Main, so it was a hair store called TNT right across the street. A Family Dollar where I can buy anything that I need for cheap. You know, toilet paper, tissue, just anything, any necessity that I may need, and everything just lined up. You know, everything lined up. So, but I will say I had no means of getting that. I did not have thousands of dollars to give the bank, to give anything, you know?
Yes.
So at this time, I was also, while I was in the basement, man, my story is so much, but
no, it's okay.
I was also working at UPS while I was cutting hair in the basement. So so I would wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, go to UPS, be there at 4 or 5, depending on what time they wanted us to start, be there at 4 or 5. And then I would work all the way till 9 a.m. So 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then I would go cut at 9:30 or 10 a.m. Or I would go to school because I was at KVCC at the time, studying. Yeah. So I didn't look at what I was doing at the time. It was like a lot, but it was a lot now that I look back at it.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I was doing
very
a lot.
Industrious.
Yeah. But the reason why I bring up UPS though is for what I'm gonna say later. So I was working at UPS at the time. And like I said, I had no way of, giving them, the money to get this building. So my mom and my dad, they ended up getting a loan for me, and they surprised me with the building in 2022. So it's a lot, but they surprised me with the building in 2022, and they got the loan for me.
That is so wonderful.
Yep.
Good parents.
Yeah, they invested.
Beats good parents.
Yep. They invested. They seen the vision, and that's
they
honestly.
They saw you working. Your
did.
dad worked with you to build your first barbershop.
Yeah.
Then he helped you get the.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
So it was a lot. It was a lot. So they helped me get the building, and but like I said, just bringing up UPS again. Sometimes you have to do the things that you don't want to do before you can get to where you want to be.
Yes.
So I know that sounds real cliche, but it's very true.
Very true.
Let me not say hate. I very much disliked UPS. And none of this is nothing bad on them. Yes. But I didn't like it. I think I didn't like it because of the fact that I had something else lined up that I knew that I wanted to do other than this. You know what I mean? And who wants to wake up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, working for somebody else? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, some people that want to do it, cool. So
That's cool
you know
for
what I mean?
them.
They're making money.
But
you know
got
what I mean?
a dream.
Yeah, I
You
had something that I wanted to
dream,
do.
and you had already been exposed to it, so
Yeah.
you knew how
Yeah.
rewarding that
Yeah,
could be.
I did.
Yes.
I thank you that you said that too. I was exposed to it. I mean, I
Yes.
seen. Don't get me wrong, money is a factor, but I also seen the freedom that was there in just me cutting hair alone. You know what I mean? So me being my own boss and such.
And you get to interact with these people.
With people, and that's actually the main thing. And I'll probably get into this later, but that's the main thing that I really do love and enjoy about my barbershop. I mean, it's very intimate, it's very personal. I don't have another barber in there right now, so it's just me and my client, you know, and the TV playing NBA or something.
Yes, yes.
Or Netflix for the kids, you know.
Yes.
But it's the conversations that I have with, you know, the people in there that's really that's really what gets me, to be honest. And almost every time I'm done with a cut or with a client, 9 times out of 10, they're not saying thank you for the haircut. They're saying thank you for the conversation.
Indeed. Oh my
So,
God, I was going to say that is part of your ministry.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
conversation is so important. People are so alone these days. They don't have anybody that they can have heart-to-heart things with.
Yeah.
And you probably give them a space where they can open up and just say what's in their hearts.
Right.
So that is a joy.
It's really deep. Like those conversations at the shop. I mean, just one small thing. I mean, I've had somebody come in there and we've talked so deep about something that they've cried in the chair. Oh. And I've never had that happen. That hasn't happened since. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but I'm like, that's when it hit me before this too, but it hit me again in that moment, like, yo, this is just, it's deeper.
It is deeper than a haircut.
Hair.
Yes, yes.
You can get your haircut, you know what I mean? And I'll get paid, yada, yada, yada. But all of that is besides the point. You know what I mean? It's just, this is really the root of what I need to be doing, you know? So it gets deep. But going back to, you know, I'll get into all that too. But just to finish this story off.
But we have like 8 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
So,
but finishing off that story,
Yes.
my mom and my dad, they got the loan
They
for
got
me.
the loan
Surprised me with the
for
building.
you,
And I've been in there ever
yes.
since. So, but yeah, working at UPS, that's actually what fueled me. That's what helped me to put down a nice down payment also. Because my mom and my dad, they also had to take out, you know, some money too. So they could, you know, put down on it and all the other stuff. And also me cutting hair. So I had a lot of money saved up. So financial literacy, we can even talk about that, you know, another time. But like you had to, you know, saving and all the other stuff. That's what helped me get to where I'm at.
And
So,
your parents taught you about saving. They taught you about money.
I mean, it was, I think it kind of ran in the family too. They said my grandma could, what they say, a pinch a dollar till holler or something like
make
that.
a dollar holler.
That's what it is. Yeah. So
Make a dollar holler. That's me
save,
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
She would save a lot of money, and you know my dad
Yes.
would too. I didn't really see it, but it was also like just something that I knew. Like I just had to. You gotta save.
You gotta
put
save.
up, you know?
You don't spend all your money. My grandmother would tell me, if you have a quarter, you bring a nickel home.
Yeah.
You don't spend. You
'Cause it adds up.
never spend all of your money. If you have a dime, spend a nickel and bring a nickel home.
Yeah.
You know, and that just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that
all
is
adds up.
wonderful.
Yeah. Yep.
Family is the core, though.
Yeah.
Everything you've said has been about family
Yeah.
and community strong. So tell me a little bit about your church.
My church. Okay. Yeah. So
Did you grow up in that church?
Yeah, born and raised. Born and
okay.
raised. They used to say he was born on the back pew. But yeah, born and raised there. Yeah, it's a great church. I like it. I like where I'm at. Bishop T.D. Locket, that's my grandfather actually.
What?
Bishop Locket, yeah. That's my grandfather. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so it's pretty deep. My family, they had 11 kids. Some of those kids had kids, and I'm one of those. And then some of those kids, I even have second cousins now. So the family's really big. But the church, yeah, I like it. That's where I'm at. That's actually where I got filled with the Spirit at that church.
Did you guys get married there?
No, we actually got married down in North Carolina.
In North Carolina?
Yeah,
Did your
yeah.
parents travel down
Yeah,
there
they
for
did.
the wedding?
They did. Yeah, yep.
I thought maybe you might have had a marriage down there, a wedding down there, and one up here.
Yeah, no. So we'd end up doing the wedding down there, and then we had a reception up here.
Okay.
So yeah, the reception, it was pretty big. We had
I
probably
can
about
imagine.
80 to probably 100 people there. So it was
Nice.
nice. We had it at my church actually in the gym.
Okay.
But yeah, my church is like I said, is great. I mean, it's a lot of fellowship that happens there. Like I said, that's where I got filled with the Spirit, and every once in a while, that's where I run a youth program at my church along with
Wonderful.
my cousins, and we both run it, the three of us. And it's called REACH, and it stands for rebuild. It's an acronym: rebuild, empower, achieve, cultivate, and honor. So we really just want to reach people and tell them about God, how to change their life, their purpose, their calling, and all that can just be summed up in just a relationship with God. Once you talk to him, once you really get in communion with him, everything won't be so confusing. Life starts making sense.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened with that. My
good.
clock went off,
You're
so
good.
I'm not
You're
sure
good.
what's going on with
You're
it
good.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no more space on this card.
You're good. Yeah.
So we have to end the conversation
good.
because
Yeah.
we're gonna have to have a part 2.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yes,
Yeah,
a part
yeah.
2.